On the news tonight, President Buhari implores Nigerians to support the incoming administration. Governor Adeleke promises all-inclusiveness in governance. While on the foreign scene, Sudan resumes fighting despite truce agreement. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the Major Reports. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola. President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to the Niger Delta region to give its maximum support and cooperation to his incoming successor, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Buhari solicited cooperation of the Niger Delta for his incoming successor during the groundbreaking of the Triad project of the Center of Excellence for Environmental Restoration, Ogoni Specialist Hospital, and the Ogoni Power Project in Wikayara Community, Kana local government area of Rivers State. The president said he is confident that Asiwaju Tinubu, on assumption of office, would consolidate on the federal government's achievements in the ongoing clean-up of Ogoni land located in Rivers State. Buhari, who joined the ceremony virtually, also gave approval for the rehabilitation of the Ogoni axis of the East-West Road. The president commended Governor Nyesom Wike for supporting the federal government's developmental initiatives in Ogoni. He said Wike had particularly maintained relative peace in Ogoni land and River State in general. In another development, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the postponement of 2023 population and housing census earlier scheduled for May 3 to 7, 2023 to a date to be determined by the incoming administration. The president gave the approval after meeting with some members of the Federal Executive Council and the chairman of the National Population Census and the Nasir Issa team at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. This is contained in a press statement signed by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. The minister indicated that the meeting reiterated the critical need for the conduct of a population and housing census 17 years after the last census to collect up-to-date data that will drive the developmental goals of the country and improve the living standard of the Nigerian people. Mohammed quoted President Buhari as saying that appreciable progress had been made in the preparation for and implementation of the postponed census, adding that the president commended the methodology being put in place by the NPC to conduct accurate and reliable census. The federal government has said that fuel subsidy removal is yet to be suspended, a statement by the Special Advisor Media and Communications to the Minister of the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Yunusa Abdullahi, indicated that the federal government planned to expand the subsidy removal committee to include state governors and teams from the incoming administration. According to the Finance Minister, Zainab Ahmed, the National Economic Council agreed that the subsidy must be removed as the nation could not afford it anymore. She said the council agreed that the fuel subsidy must be removed earlier rather than later because it is not sustainable. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke was given a rousing welcome at the Ladoke University's 15th convocation ceremony. Governor's Office correspondent Abdurrahim Adeklekmo has more.
The arrival of Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke into the amphitheatre of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology Ogbomoso was greeted with a loud ovation as the academic gathering was rented with a chorus of Imale. Speaking to newsmen, the governor said the university conferred honorary awards on deserving Nigerians who have made their marks in both public and private lives, saying that individuals must continue to make positive impacts on the lives of people around them. Governor Adeleke lauded the first alumnus of the university to be so awarded honorary doctorate degree in business administration, Prince Tayo Ajatu, for the great feat which he said was as a result of hard work, generosity and purpose-driven lifestyle.
One of my little brother, Tayo Ajatu, on the honorary doctorate degree on business administration. So that's why, because he's been giving back to the society, and I always like to encourage such people. That's why I'm here today.
Also receiving the leadership of the National Association of Osun State Students, NAOS, Governor Ademola Adeleke assured the students that his administration will not leave any section of the state out in the delivery of good governance that he swore to deliver. The students, who were happy to receive the governor in their midst, were full of appreciation as they request the governor to see to the agreement reached between the governments of Oyo and Osun State, which is now denying them of some benefits that they either to enjoy in the institution. Apart from the students, indigenes of Osun State that are resident in Ogbomoso, including those from Ede, the governor's hometown, also stormed the venue with talking drummers to register their appreciation for the governor amidst pomp and pageantry.
Of all Osun State students in Lautech, we welcome you, our governor, to this great level of learning, Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech. And also, the students of Osun State in Lautech have a lot of requests from the governor. The number one is the welfareism of the students, all Osun State students in Lautech, through the state government bursary and some scholarship. And again, for the past 3 years, the students and the staff of Lautech have been facing some challenges in the university since the sole ownership of Oyo State and Osun State. Till now, we don't know the agreement between the Oyo State government and Osun State government. We have lost the indigenous rights of Osun State. For the past 2 years, Osun State is now paying our non-indigene tuition fee. We want you, Your Excellency, sir, to help us to review the agreement.
It has been Abdurrahim Adekileku reporting.
The present administration in Osun State placed premium on qualitative education, and as such will hold an education summit to put the state ahead of others in the country. The governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, said this while commissioning of 3 laboratories renovated and motorized boreholes sunk at Odeomo Community High School. Said Adeboje has details.
Now, Ademola Adeleke, who expressed his displeasure in the hitherto bad condition of the block of classrooms hosting the laboratories, said that a serious government concerned with giving the quality education to future leaders will be swift in action in correcting the abnormalities in such schools. The governor, who was represented by his deputy Prince Kola Adewusi, said that the present administration is ready to invest heavily in education, hence the result of what are seen within the premises of Odeomo High School. The governor, who noted that the renovation and equipping the chemistry and physics laboratories were done to create a better future for students, expressed conviction that the step taken by the state government will improve teaching and learning of science subjects.
Ara èròǹgbà ìjọba tuntun tó dé fún wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ní ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ jẹ́. Nípa eléyìí, àwọn ilé ìkàwé tí àkùdé dé bá pátápátá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ni wọ́n ti ń ṣe àkọsílẹ̀ láti lè mọ ibi tó kù sí.
In her address, the General Manager of Osun Community and Social Development Agency, Mrs. Funmi Abokede, described the intervention of Governor Ademola Adeleke in developmental projects as laudable. Mrs. Abokede explained that the renovation of a block of 3 laboratories in Odility education.
Through the innovation of these science laboratories, as well as ensuring better basic economic and social conditions of the communities in Osun State. Indeed, our governor is working his talk on his development agenda to ensure that electoral promises are translated into needed social and
The president of the Omo Development Union, Mr. Akin Olaniyi, popularly called Elewiri, appreciated Governor Ademola Adeleke for considering the Omo community as a beneficiary of his government in just 100 days in office. He assured the people of Omo that the present administration will do everything possible for the infrastructural development and their welfare. Residents of Omo community, including Honorable Fafa, Mr. Olodo, Yunusa Olalekan, among others, therefore passed a vote of confidence in Governor Ademola Adeleke's administration. From the office of the Deputy Governor, this is Said Adeboje reporting.
In another development, Osun State government has blamed inherited revenue consultants from the previous administration as responsible for recent misconduct in the revenue collection process, declaring that Governor Ademola has since ordered major shake-up and disengagement of corporates. Responding to recent activities of revenue consultants in the state, the statement signed by the spokesperson to the state governor, Malam Olawale Rashid, noted that the administration retained some consultants in the spirit of continuity but expressed alarm at recent turn of events, which is said necessitated the major overhaul ordered by the state governor. He explained that further steps have been taken to arrest and prosecute any consultant whose activities are confirmed as injurious to the financial well-being of the state. The state governor affirmed that under his watch, Osun finances will continue to be process, transparency and accountability. The Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has emphasized the need for strengthening of interstate policing to stem cross-border criminal activities. Governor Adeleke made a call at a security meeting, citing interstate criminal attacks as a major issue which demand urgent attention. In a statement signed by the governor's spokesperson, Malam Olawale Rashid, Governor Adeleke commended the proactiveness of the police and other security agencies, noting that strengthening of intelligence sharing and framing up of operational relationship among the state commands will stop criminals in their track before they launch cross-border. Who noted that Osun security apparatus said the recent interstate raids by armed robbers demand review of strategies, expressing happiness that the best approach to addressing the challenge is to have all relevance in the same room. Responding, AIG Sikiru, who was full of praises for its governance and security strategies, assured the state governor that the police service is re-strategizing. Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke. Okay. The Inspector General of Police Zone 11, Mr. Sikiru Akonde, has described as rumored the threat to hand over power on the 29th of May swearing in of the new president, say the gesture is a political gimmick which cannot stand the test of time in the palaces of security architecture put in place by the police force. The AIG, who commended the act of Osun State and Oyo police force for their proactiveness strides in checkmating lawlessness, urged the populace to furnish the police with vital information and decorum instead of trying to bribe. He also said police has lots of social platforms to accommodate reports of any abuse of power by any officer. He speaks further.
The government of the day. Let us push that the 3 tiers of government should be working effectively. The moment the 3 tiers of government are working effectively, issues of security will be a thing of the past. And with the caliber of police officers that we have now, who are ready to sacrifice anything to make sure that the land is peaceful, if you are not well brought up, there's nothing you can do, no matter what position God gives you. But if you are well brought up, you will not do anything that is against the law. Is it lawful what they are doing? If it is not lawful, then it means they are doing the wrong thing. And if they are caught, they are dealt with. If there is any organization in Nigeria that is self-controlling, that is always taking care of the wrongdoers, it is the Nigerian police force.
Government has disclosed that the first batch of 13 buses conveying 637 evacuees have arrived at the identified safe borders at Aswan, Egypt. This was announced in a joint statement issued today by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, signed by the Director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Janet Olisa, and the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Nasir Sanu Guazo. The government explained that the evacuees are undergoing necessary documentation and clearance before admission into the Egyptian territory for their eventual evacuation to Nigeria. It also announced that the movement of the second batch of the 29 buses will commence today, while the evacuees are advised to be at the designated locations with only one luggage and cooperate with the government in ensuring orderliness and proper documentation. Meanwhile, African Union has been asked to wade into the conflict in Sudan in order to achieve a lasting peace in the country. A media aide to the Governor Ademola Adeleke, Mr. Shola Ishola, gave the advice after featuring on Osbc TV weekly magazine program Saturday Morning Trades. Mr. Ishola explained that the organization should bring the two warring factions to table and engage them in ensuring that peace is brokered in the Horn of Africa. He then called on Nigerian government to speedily do the needful for the stranded Nigerians in the country to have a heap of relief.
Well, so the African Union is supposed to be the most superior organ in Africa. That all leaders, all Africans, either be it leaders or with the followers, are submitted or submissive to. Whatever African Union says is supposed to be binding, on any African country. So in this case, I expect African Union to invite these two warring lords to the table to say, okay, let's bargain. What do you want? What do you want? If we now realize that these two guys are not willing, to submit to the African Union, then African Union should be powerful enough, to sanction them, either to remove them entirely from the army or something. African Union is supposed to be that organ that all of us are submitted to.
The federal government has warned that this year's rainy season and other